The other day, we discussed Boss Cowboys top 10 players. Today, we discussing who are the favorite players. So, y'all just come on in. Let's talk about it. So, obviously, there's a difference between being the best player and the favorite player because these lists are going to be totally different. So, the first player was my opinion of the best players that's currently on this team. So now we go get into the favorites. So this is a list that really nobody's wrong. So digging right into it, somebody to me that took a hit in terms of his reputation, who was much higher on best player, was Ezekiel Elliot. He's number 10. Was funny though in terms of as in talent, he was actually number 6. So obviously that's a pretty big difference. But Zeke took a hit after the holdout that he never recovered from. So, once he got paid, the holdout from a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans, in my opinion, made them view Zeke as greedy because he held out for his coin, which to me he needed to. The writing was on the wall. Kellen Moore was getting ready to be the OC. So him being smart and his dad being smart, obviously they wasn't gonna run the ball like they was running under Jason Garrett. So he had one chance to get paid, and that was to hold out. Or we all know the Dallas Cowboys are notorious for stringing you along, and he had to stop the bleeding, and he did. But he took a reputation hit because of his stance for himself. I don't think it's understandable. I think it's not right, but it is what it is. But somebody to me that's number 9 that wasn't even on my best player list at all, that to me is one of the favorite players in the fan base, that's Malik Hooker. And I think he deserves it because he's the underdog story. He's the guy that looked like he was almost out the league. He was getting injured every year. And matter of fact, Injury Predictor gave him a 99% chance of being re-injured in 2021. But the wisdom of the Dallas Cowboys was on point, where they didn't make him a full-time starter. They used him as a rotational safety, which obviously limited his snaps and his risk of injury. But you could still see the form of greatness of what made him a first rounder, and obviously, especially at the anemic cost and the value of his price tag, the fans love it. Especially the trained fans that's trained to think like Stephen Jones, to where they always trying to squeeze a nickel out of a dollar. That's just what it is. But he's somebody that going into 2022, a lot of people are high on for good reasons. I think the Dallas Cowboys need to continue to treat him as a rotational player just to prolong his value. Still don't rush him, in my opinion. Now, somebody that's actually down on the list, way down on the list in terms of likableness from the fan base, that's Dak. Because Dak, I had him as my number 1. He was my number 1 talented player. But in terms of a fan favorite, I think he around number 8. And I think it's been a divide on Dak ever since he took Romo's job. And then on top of that, when you add the media negativity on Dak, there's a lot of people to me that don't know how to evaluate Dak. They don't even recognize the blessing that he is to be our quarterback, and the fact that he has the pedigree to be the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. People undervalue him, but it's more so because he's a constant target of negativity from the mainstream media, and he was a source of division because he did what he had to do to unseat Romo. But it's just what it is, But his reputation would never really, to me, get high in the Dallas Cowboys fan base until he get us at least to a Super Bowl. I don't even think getting us farther than Romo ever got us is going to make our fans like him and believe in him. I think it's going to be going all the way to a Super Bowl and likely having to win it. You know, that's the standard that he's under, but that's one that I also believe that he accepts. Somebody that's around where he was on my list of talent, CeeDee Lamb. I think his talent and the expectation are equal. So people on some wait and see with Mr. CeeDee Lamb, and that's fair, right? Because we know the mantle is getting ready to get heavier than we've ever seen on him, and just everybody sitting back trying to see how he's going to handle it. But do the fans like him? At first, I would say they loved him. I think they kind of fell out of love with him because of his drops. I think that kind of, people focused in on it a little bit too microscopish, right? And it was the way he dropped it. So, like, the New York game stand out where he tried to one-hand that ball and then he blamed the sun. See, all that kind of stuff didn't kind of weigh well with the fans. But I think he was, young. He's going to mature, and I think his reputation is going to be restored, and his rank on this list is going to rise if he assumes the mantle. Now, somebody that was lower on my talent list to the Dallas Cowboys but higher in reputation, that's Tyrone Smith. I think Tyrone Smith is still a favorite, and I actually should have him higher than this because he's one of those guys that's, to me, living off his reputation of so many years of greatness. It's hard not to love him and like him, especially because at this point his contract is extremely team friendly, and he always had the leverage to go back and knock on that table and demand more. Yeah, he always had that leverage, but he never exercised that leverage, which, if you're looking at him from appreciation, you should appreciate the sacrifice, because he honestly, can I be real with y'all? Y'all come here, let me talk to you. Let me tell you something. Tyrone Smith left millions of dollars on the table to be loyal to these Dallas Cowboys. So that alone should have him ranked way high. He's left millions of dollars on the table that with his long-term contract, because everybody that's a counterpart to Tyrone Smith, they have 4-year contracts, which allows them to get into the market a lot faster and take advantage of a usually consistently rising cap. And so as that cap rise, so do your percentage of enumeration or compensation, however you want to say it. But somebody else, before we get into number 5, we gonna do like we did the last time. Before we get into number 5, let's take a pause and let's hit that old Lyco, right? Let's just take a pause, because I know how it is. We come in the building and we be busy. We be doing a lot all the time. And when we, got a lot of going on, sometimes we'll be watching and we'll be enjoying the show, getting a kick out of it, and we'll just forget to do the simple stuff like the video. So make sure you stop while you're drinking your beer and chilling and enjoying this content. Just stop real quick and hit that like button so that we can continue. All right, but getting into the number 5, somebody that wasn't on my top 10 talent list, and it was hard to keep him off, but I don't have full faith that they gonna use him properly. I just don't. But in terms of talent, I could have definitely put him in a top 10. It's Tony Pollard. In terms of favorites, though, he top 5 all day. Tony is loved. He's loved. Everybody loved him some Tony. I mean, because first of all, Tony's a soldier, right? He don't complain. He just wants the ball. It don't matter where you put him. Kickoff return, slot, running back, wherever. He not gonna talk. He just, man, give me the ball, man. I just want to contribute. And then when they don't use him properly, he doesn't talk. He doesn't make waves. He doesn't complain. It's easy to like Tony, and Tony's deserving. I mean, he's somebody that's underutilized by Kellen Moore in a lot of different ways, but I also believe that earned him a favorite place in our hearts, being at number 5. Number 4, this might not be right. I might need to switch Tony with this one. Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs is loved, but I don't think he's loved enough, But he's loved. It's a lot of people that talk well, but remember, he's somebody right now because it's a lot of money when it comes down to playing to the massive amount of haters. Trayvon Diggs has been targeted by mainstream media as somebody they want to target and try to act like he's undeserving of the hype. And they try to focus on yards given up. They don't focus on the fact that he was taking the number one receivers pretty much a majority of the season. They don't focus on that. They also don't compare the yards he gave up to other people that gave up yards. They hardly talk about the value of turnovers, any of that. But when you that negative on a player, that does leak into your fan base, and your fan base start parroting and copying off the notes of, I'm not gonna call them reputable, I'm gonna call them popular sources like PFF, who do a lot of hating on Diggs, right? And then all of a sudden, you got your own fans looking at you upside your head when you doing great. So Diggs is almost getting that treatment like that, to where it makes no it makes no sense for us to be doubting Dak and Diggs. But if it's always a constant negative drum beat against those guys, some people will begin to question their own judgment and then focus on them, So I could have switched Pollard and Diggs, but it is also a massive amount of love for Trayvon Diggs. That one, I'm gonna say probably I got that wrong. I probably need to switch them too. So, but I'm gonna keep it because I already started this presentation. Anyway, all right, number 3, who I think is absolutely loved. I can't find people who don't like this guy. From here on, I think everybody go agree with the list of the favorites to the fans and who I think are the favorites. You can't find nobody who don't like Curse, man. You can't find nobody. I'm sorry. And the reason why is because, honestly, I think obviously because of his play. That's number 1, right? So his play is obviously the reason to like him is obviously because his play. But it's also, let's be honest, how would you feel if you've been starving for something for so long and you finally get something? Like you've been starved, you literally been starving for food, and somebody come out and give you a big old fat cheeseburger. You gonna love that burger. You go, oh, this is the best burger. Oh my God, I never. You gonna be just so happy because you've been starving. This fan base have been starving for even just a decent safety. So to get somebody that's above that, above decent, that's a dog, that's also a leader, a guy that they was able to get responsibilities of green dot. Oh, this fan base so appreciative right now. Oh man, Curse could slap somebody mama. He could slap y'all mama and y'all still be like, I forgive you, Curse. So Curse is number 3. Somebody right now that I got him number 2. I could have easily and should easily make this guy number 1, but for right now, I got him number 2. Zack Martin. Is nobody more loved and deservingly so than Zack Martin? Zack Martin has earned it through his consistency, through his dominance for years, through his quiet leadership where he leads through his play, and living up and way above the hype of when he was drafted, because immediately we felt his impact immediately once we got him from Notre Dame. Everybody knew he was an instant classic the moment he played that guard position. So it's to the point to where even in my eyes, because I have him number 2 as a favorite, but I see in my eyes, I see him aging where I had him number 5 in terms of the best talent on our team, just which is, that's not too far of a deficit, but that's a little bit off. And so when you have that, sometimes it's hard for people to start recognizing that he's starting to age. And as he's starting to age, his play is not as dominant as it was in the past, in my opinion. That could be sometimes just an off year. It could be playing through pain. There's different things we don't see. But in terms of love, oh yeah, he top 2. I could have easily flipped number 1 and number 2, and I still would have been right. But number 1 on the love list, who can't do no wrong right now, without question, is Micah Parsons. And Micah Parsons came from a long way. See, because I'm gonna just be honest, there's so many people so fake. They so fake. I knew so many people that was like, oh, I want to take him off my board, and I took him off my board because of rumors of Penn State allegations and bull crap. Now that we love Micah Parsons, man, I'm gonna tell you, it was a whole lot of people was not happy when we signed him, and publicly showed it. But now, isn't it amazing what a year of play can do? Now everybody, I been in love me some Micah Parsons. I was day one. No, you wasn't. But at least you here now, and I'm glad you here because he deserved it. He earned it, and I think he's going to greatly improve. I think he's the favorite as of 2022 out of all of our players. I think everybody, I don't think you can find nobody just like Curse, just like Zack Martin, that is now not extremely happy about Micah Parsons and what's expected for him to be for the Dallas Cowboys future. But once again, man, y'all make sure y'all always like this content. That's one of the main things to do, because that's my top 10, and that's the difference between both of these, because I already did a video on the top 10 players. This is the video obviously on the most popular. Right now, I also want to know yours, because frankly, let's just be honest, it is not right for you to jump in them comments and get to hating on my list, and we have no idea what your list is. That is just not right, so I want to get y'all comments on what y'all think are your favorite players, or what you think is a favorite amongst our fans. And I appreciate everybody that continues to donate to the Boss Cowboy Sports Cash App, because that goes into all the content that we continue to bring y'all. But y'all stay up. It's Boss Cowboy Sports. Peace.